Seattle Sounders 2, Vancouver Whitecaps 2. Two Cascadia rivals split the points, but Adam, not really in a sense, because what happens here is the Vancouver Whitecaps walk away with the Cascadia trophy.
Yeah, obviously, you never want to go into a home game and not win. You expect to win here at home. This place has been a fortress. And of course, in the Cascadia Cup, it's been a frustrating couple seasons for the Sounders in the Cascadia Cup, and it always hurts to have a rival win it on your home pitch.
Yeah, let's hear from Brian Smetzer real quickly from the locker room.
When Alex went down and then Ymar went down, it almost feels like they were in shock for a little bit. They just, like, oh my God. And it took us a while to get going. Second half, I thought it was okay, but then look, the kids got to learn. The kids got to learn and give away. We're giving up too many soft goals. It's something I talked about. And then you get that response. So you're proud of the team to come back, and Jackson's header was excellent. Excellent header, good ball. And then, I asked the guys in there, I said, it was a great second goal, but why? Ask yourself why it was such a great goal. Because it was with intent and they wanted to score. You just feel the momentum shift, and they were playing with confidence. And then I asked them, how could you continue that momentum instead of falling back again? And so those are some of the learning curves. And then, if we would have given up a second goal, I didn't know if I was gonna, think that they would get a set piece goal off a corner kick. Berhalter swings in a good ball for sure, but we had size advantage a little bit. But there again, you could say that was a great goal by Laborda, same as I could say Jackson was a good goal. So, mixed bag. If you looked at the stats, the preliminary stats that I saw, the game was even. Statistically, shots, expected goals, possession, all that. So I left and ended it with, the intensity that Vancouver showed in that first half, us to get up and going, the second half being an entertaining game between two rivals, losing to the Cascadia Cup, the emotions and the intensity of that game was a good lead up, in my opinion, coming off a kind of a bummer of a week. Although the result wasn't what we wanted, I think this is a good game to start trying to progress forward, because we need that intensity. We needed that type of game to kind of get us back going.
All right, so there you go. You heard a little bit from Brian Smetzer and Adam. Brian talked about on this overall press conference that he liked the energy and all that. I say they were missing some technical ability. What say you?
There were definitely sloppy moments, and this has been a team that has played at such a high clinical level before this recent run of games, and it's bad timing, obviously. You want to be at that clinical level when it comes to playoff time. It felt like this was a step in the right direction, but they're not all the way there yet. They've got a couple more games to figure it out, first against Portland and then against RSL.
And in all fairness, I think they've got one more. In all fairness, it's an emotional kind of shock when you lose two players early in the game due to injury, Alex Rodin and Ymar. And I looked at him in the locker room, and he said, kind of gave me a thumbs up for whatever that means, which means that his spirits are good. He didn't give me nothing physically. I don't want to say that, but so that's a start. And so now, what do you take of the substitution Brian made of Jordan Moore? Danny Masowski for Jordan Morris to start the second half.
Well, I like the substitutions, personally, that Brian Smetzer made in this game. Jordan Morris, he's still coming off an injury. He wasn't too involved in the first half, and it seems like when you need a player to just be there at the right time and find the finish, Danny Masowski has been that guy. And it did pay off for the Sounders. They were able to get that quick turnaround. And this was a game where Brian Smetzer, he was really limited by the fact that he had to make two substitutions the first 15 minutes. That's a coach's nightmare. And he worked through it. He made the subs that he needed to make, and the Sounders were able to turn this one around.
Yeah, and I'm never one to question coaches, because you don't know what's said, if the players on a pitch count or things like that. It's something looking from 50,000 feet here. So Albert Rusnak, Obviously, had a really good game, and Brian talked about that. What did you make of his game?
Well, what Albert Rusnak brings is not only the technical ability that shows up on the stat sheet, but he's a leader for this team, and he showed that out there today, and he was able to kind of lead the charge in that 5 minutes where the Sounders were able to completely turn the game around. Of course, you put in a really good corner kick, and Jackson Reagan with a great header to make it 1-1, and then just being at the end of a good build-up play for the second goal, roofing that goal. It's not nearly as easy as it looks to finish that one off at the far post. Albert Rusnak is crucial to how this team plays, not just physically and tactically, but mentally.
Adam Race, Mas Vida Maria. Thank you all for watching and listening.
Thank you.